Going on.
Oh, where do I start?
Something special is waiting for you at Target.
You heard about the meltdown, didn't you? Where she wasn't going to go back to Red Bank.
Yeah.
And that just devastated me. Because I just thought, that's the last hope, that's the last answer that we had. Like, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
So that pretty much took the blanket, like the rug from under me, and I just didn't really know what I was going to do. But Red Bank have worked with me to try and get her to do a little more.
So you've got good support at Red Bank?
Starting to.
Because that's always been a difficulty, is getting good support for you.
And getting support that stays there.
Yes.
Because nobody seems to realise how long it's going to take. And everyone gets all fired up and they're all going to come in and they're going to fix the issues, because really a lot of the issues are mine. Like, I've caused them. So therefore, if they just do these things, then it'll all be fixed. And then, yeah, as it goes down the time, they realise that that's not the case, that there's really something deep down underlining in Alyssa that is a real issue.
So who's saying that you've caused the problems?
Oh,
You or...
no. Well, I used to think that too, because of, but no, ongoing. Like, even as a small child, you know, like people used to say to me, if you were just consistent, if you gave her more discipline, you know, sort of thing. Yeah, there was always the advice that if I just did this, she'd be fine.
Yes, there's always good advice.
And it didn't just come from meaningful friends or people. It came from the health department. It came from education. It came from all sorts of avenues. And as you know, we've tried the occupational therapists. We've tried the special. You know, like,
Yeah.
I've gone down. Like even the Westmead Children's Hospital, that professor, like him and that caseworker, I'm sure were convinced that the issue was mine,
Yes,
not
you had a
Alyssa's.
terrible time there.
Yeah.
Really bad, though. Yeah.
So you know, like, I did start to really and
So did you start to doubt yourself?
yes, and because and the guilt started to grow, because I did feel guilty that because of my depression and how I wasn't coping with my issues from the past, that I then had not been there for her to the degree that I should have, even though part of that overwhelming hopelessness that put me there was her behaviour and how, you know, like how I was having to live with her. I started to feel horribly guilty.
That's been quite overwhelming, really.
Yeah, well, it's still quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
Which is, and that's what seems to happen, is that I go okay, and I think that I can manage, and that we can tread water.
Mhm.
And then something will happen that makes it so overwhelming again, and it's like as if I get pulled underwater.
And then do you feel as if you're back to square one or even further backwards?
This is the first time that I haven't felt that we've been further backwards.
Oh, good.
I think we're just no further ahead. But as for me, it's been scary, because I haven't felt this bad in about 7 years.
How do you mean bad?
In that I find it very difficult to not feel very low, very unmotivated, very teary, very hopeless.
Okay, so you're feeling bad in yourself, not
The
so
worst-
much towards this,
Oh, no.
but this is in
Me,
yourself.
myself. how my emotional state is the worst it's been in about 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really seen you this low. That's why I've been concerned.
And I did. So I've never been this bad in a long time. And the only thing that's holding me together is that I know that this doesn't last. That there is an out of this. Where last time I didn't believe that. Like I believed that this was, like it was hopeless and it was all black and doom and like I know that's not the case.
So you've got some hope this time.
But I've got to the point with her that that I'm not prepared to live like this. That there has to be some sort of a change of something, or I'm just not going to do it anymore.
There has to be something from her side this time, for sure.
But getting her to realise that's still a bit of a challenge.
She's still 15, so it's a hard time anyway. And given her problems, it's going to be a bit of a hard road. But you've got the support. Looking at that now, haven't
got
you?
more support than I've ever had.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's quite enough. I believe myself that she needs to go somewhere where she can't manipulate and she can't maneuver people to get what she wants. I believe that it's like that thing, the rubber's got to hit the road and she's got to get to that really low point to get that aha thing.
Is there anywhere like that?
Don't know. And that was my thing. I had wanted to go, when we got to the psychologist on Friday, I'd wanted to go in and speak to him before he saw her and just tell him how things were for me and life at home. I didn't get that opportunity. No. He saw her first and I came in at the end. But I wasn't able to have that one-on-one with him. It was with her, and by that stage, sort of thing, it was just, this is what we're going to try this week. And I'm sorry, but that happens nearly every time. And she says that she's going to do all sorts of things, and we walk out of there, and she doesn't do anything. Yeah. And I believe that she has full intentions while she's in there that she's going to do them. But as soon as she gets home, she just lacks the motivation and the will to do it.
And I know I've suggested this before, but have you been keeping a diary so that you can show him what's happening at home?
No. Because part of the place that I'm at is that I don't do those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I was very good at writing things down as I was coming out of my depression last time. I really, but it is the biggest part of my problem is that I, like her, I lack motivation to do anything when I get like this, and it is a real struggle.
Can I suggest one thing? When, I've been going through a lot of things recently, and my counsellor suggested to start off with one thing. Every night, as you're going to bed, write down one good thing that happened to you that day. Just one. And do it every night.
Okay.
And hopefully, over time, you see that there are some good things happening.
Yep.
And the first time you do it, it might be, I didn't have a fight getting her to school this morning. Or,
all right, Ed. That'll be a real good one.
Or it might be that I had a nice cup of coffee with Sue. But then after a while, it might be you write a page of describing what you had with a cup of coffee with Sue. And it just gradually help you.
Teddy,
Ted.
enough. Must be a cat out there or a dog.
Shush. That's enough. Enough.
Yes, this
Sit.
whole time
stay.
Good boy.
So, how does that sound?
It sounds like it could be, yeah. I have to do something to start
Yes.
my progress on coming out of where
That was just something really simple, and I managed it when I was in a really dark place. So maybe it might work. And it's not something that's really hard.
And it makes you then focus on something positive instead of going to bed on a negative.
Yep. But it doesn't have to be much. Just get a little notebook and a pen next to bed and just write something positive that happened.
So instead of Sudoku, do that.
Yes. Or do your Sudoku, and just before you put your pen down for the night, think about one good thing that's happened to you today, or one thing that you're grateful for.
Yep. Yeah.
One thing that you're grateful for.
Yep.
I'm grateful that I'm still alive. That's one of the things I did. So that might start a bit of a positive process going on.
Yeah.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, no, it does. No, it does. That's yeah. No, that would be something. Because I have been trying to think of things that will help me move forward from this place.
That was probably, and I've got to say that it took me a long time to do it consistently. But each time I did it was a little bit easier, so it's a good start. So it might work. I mean, you and I are so similar that it might work for you too.